New tonight at 6, grown-up grief on the face of a child. How this image of these two brothers is helping illustrate one West Michigan family's struggle with diabetes and the skyrocketing price of insulin.
Targeted investigator Susan Samples is digging into how the high price of insulin is costing our families more than money. Susan?
30 million Americans depend on insulin, which more than quadrupled in price in a decade. As Congress and President Trump scrambled to find ways to force down soaring prices, one West Michigan family couldn't wait, so they found their own solution. At 7 years old, Cyrus Lockwood shouldn't know this drill, nor how dangerous diabetes can be.
It's scary.
He was diagnosed 6 weeks ago.
I mean, 113.
113? That's pretty good.
But his blood sugar dropped so low at school recently, they had to call an ambulance.
And he said, well, I'm afraid I'm going to get to a 1 and I'm going to die. There's no 7-year-old that should have to worry about dying. It's not. That's not okay.
It's not okay either that the Lockwoods have to worry about how to afford his kind of insulin, which Mom says Medicaid no longer covers.
1 month's supply of Novolog is $606. That's for one child.
We were diagnosed with type 1 diabetes.
That's right. Times that $600 by 3, because that's how many Lockwood children need insulin to live, at a cost of $1,800 out of pocket per month.
That's not right. It's not right. We live in the United States where we're supposed to be the most advanced country, and yet we are putting people's health at risk for profit. I'm desperate.
That desperation drove the Lockwoods to make the 3-hour trek to Sarnia, Ontario, where they were able to buy a year's worth of insulin just across the Canadian border, saving $6,500.
It's like $600 here in the U.S., but it's like $70 in Canada, so.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's kind of weird.
It is because Canada regulates the prices of drugs.
Marianne Udall-Phillips runs the Center for Healthcare Research and Transformation at U of M.
It is the least transparent pricing system of any in healthcare, and it has the biggest supply chains.
That long supply chain means lots of players who want a payday before insulin gets to consumers. And then there's the lack of competition due to patents that prevent others from making cheaper versions of the same drug.
And there's been a lot of pressure on drug makers and a lot of discussion in Congress about what to do about those prices.
Early this month, Eli Lilly announced it would make a generic insulin for half the price, but that's still too costly when you're covering 3, who are thankful they at least have each other. That's Brady hugging his brother Cyrus when the 7-year-old was diagnosed recently.
Yeah.
What were you doing in that picture?
Crying.
Why were you crying?
Because I felt bad for him.
Didn't want him to have to go through what he goes through. Congress is pushing for rebates to insulin customers and price transparency, but Udall-Phillips wants to look at the patent process and ways to allow for more competition. Whatever happens, she said the solution won't be quick. It could still be years down the road. We'll track developments. Brian and Sue.